All right. Good morning. Good morning. Back for another Coffee Chronicles Monday morning chat. Forgive the music in the background if you can hear it. Got morning class going on right now. But yeah, this week's thoughts. A couple things. We're just starting our nutrition challenge for the year. We're going to do a 30-day zone diet challenge. If you haven't done the zone before, there's definitely things about it that aren't perfect, but there's a lot of things that are really good for people that are starting off, maybe learning how to track food or give it a shot. I would say I like that there's some things on there that you don't have to account for necessarily because it's not as detailed as macros. So I think it's a really good stepping stone for people that are looking into macros and maybe starting to measure their food. But either way, it's something different. It's something for people to kind of recheck back in with themselves, measure their food, see how much food they're actually eating, and become more familiar with measuring and weighing and figuring that stuff out. Because ultimately, no matter what we do, if it's macros or if it's the zone or if it's some other diet, something that pushes you outside your comfort zone is usually, or if it's making you a little uncomfortable to do it, it's probably going to mean you have room to grow, and you are going to grow by doing so. So yeah, I'm sitting here drinking my coffee this morning. I got my collagen in there and I got a little creamer, but it's zoned out. So yeah, that's kind of what big thing for the week that we got going on is that nutrition challenge. But I wanted to talk today a little bit about just taking care of yourself and your responsibility in doing so, and self-care, if you will. Excuse the sniffles. I'm just still getting over a cold as well. Speaking of self-care. But, we've all heard the analogies before. If you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put the mask on yourself first before you put it on others. If the oxygen mask drops, right? We've all heard that. And it all makes sense. And it makes sense to everybody. Right? You can't care for others unless you care for yourself first. But for some reason, people have a hard time actually putting that into practice or living that way in their daily lives. So often we're either guilted or feel guilty because we are doing something for ourselves, and it seems selfish. But in reality, we all understand that. Like, we can't show up for those that we care about unless, at least we can't show up to our best ability unless we are our best versions of ourselves. So I don't know how else to tell this or share it, but I do know that if I want to be the best husband, the best dad, the best business owner, whatever those things are, I can't be my best unless I am truly my best version of myself. Well, I know to be the best version of myself, I need to show up for myself and do the things for myself that make me a better human. Get my workout in, get some sleep, right? Do the things I need to do to take care of myself so I can show up and take care of those around me. Right? I made a commitment to Kyler when I married her to be the best spouse possible. I need to show up for her. When we decided to have kids, that right there is a commitment to those kids, to my kids, to be the best version of myself I can, to be the best dad possible. So I don't want you guys to think of taking care of yourself as something that's selfish. I think it needs to be flipped on its head, and you need to start thinking to yourself, if I don't do what I need to do and take care of things I need to take care of for myself, than I am therefore taking away from my loved ones or the people I care about or my business or whatever it is. Right. I mean, even if you're just a boss and you manage or oversee other employees, right? If you're not your best self, you're not going to be as good of a boss. People aren't going to want to work for you. They're not going to want to do what you ask them to do. They're not going to want to go to battle for you at work or whatever it takes. Right. So, show up for yourself, right? Take care of yourself. I know it gets talked a lot about. Self-care is definitely a term that gets slung around often. But I think when it comes to really putting it into practice, we still need to continue to work on it. Now, some of you guys might be listening and be like, oh, that is selfish for you to go do your workout or whatever. And I will just challenge that thought with, you probably aren't getting the most out of yourself personally if you think those things, because what I see happen is, even when those are around me, for example, I'll pick on my wife. I know when she gets to work out, she's better. She has less stress. She's happier. She feels better about herself. She feels better about her day. She seems to have more energy, right? And that's just from like a 30-minute workout. When we get more sleep, we're in better moods. We're better to each other. We're better to the girls, right? We are more pleasant to be around. If you have found yourself in any type of cycle where you're not taking care of yourself, truly just try to make one change. Maybe it's a workout. Maybe it's a little more sleep. Maybe it's tracking your water for the day. In anything, one small change, just track it. Do it for a week and see if you feel like you're better. Are you being a better dad, mom, spouse, partner, parent, employee, boss, whatever it is? But take care of yourself so you can take care of others. That's the message for the week. And if you're listening and you're a member and you're doing the nutrition challenge, hey, let's get after it. It's 30 days. You guys can do this. Stick to your guns. Again, if it wouldn't be called a challenge if it were easy. So looking forward to it, seeing your guys' progress. If you are doing it, I encourage you guys to take some pictures of yourself, keep them to yourself, and just see what happens. See if you make any physical changes that you can see in the mirror. Don't stress about the scale. Stress about fueling your body. And I think that's it. Besides, if you guys like this video, if you've been enjoying these, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep them coming. Have a good week.